Imagine a crowded stage, cameras flashing, tension so thick you could almost cut it with a knife. Suddenly, Donald Trump leans forward, his voice booming with that signature confidence, and hurls a phrase that silences the entire room. "Sit down, boy." The words echo not just as an insult, but as a challenge, dripping with arrogance and meant to humiliate. Gasps ripple through the audience. Journalists freeze mid-scribble. Supporters exchange glances, unsure if they should cheer or recoil. But then, all eyes turn to BarackObama.com. Collected, unshaken. He doesn't rise immediately. He lets the silence build, lets Trump's words hang heavy in the air like a storm cloud. And in that moment, the stage is set for one of the most unforgettable exchanges in modern political history. Because here's the truth. When arrogance collides with intellect, when provocation meets precision, the results are explosive. And what Obama says next doesn't just silence Donald Trump, it sends shockwaves across America. Stay with us. Because this isn't just another political spat. This is a clash between two titans, one wielding raw aggression, the other armed with razor-sharp wit. By the end of this story, you'll see why millions still talk about this confrontation, and why Obama's response has become the stuff of legend. So what exactly did he say? And how did one single reply leave not just Donald Trump, but an entire nation, completely stunned? To fully grasp the intensity of this moment, we need to understand the players and the history that brought them here. Donald Trump, billionaire, businessman, turned reality TV star, turned president, has always been a master of spectacle. His style is confrontational, loud, and designed to dominate every stage he steps onto. Over the years, Trump cultivated a persona that thrives on challenging norms, ridiculing opponents, and commanding attention. He's never been one to back down, and insults delivered with flair, his weapon of choice. From campaign rallies to televised debates, Trump perfected the art of the verbal strike. And then there's Barack Obama, the man who once held the highest office in the land, revered globally for his poise, intellect, and eloquence. Unlike Trump, Obama rarely resorts to theatrics. His power comes from measured words, strategic timing, and an ability to speak truth in a way that resonates long after the moment has passed. Where Trump thrives on chaos, Obama thrives on clarity, and, in confrontations like this, clarity is often the deadliest weapon. Their history is layered with tension. From Trump's repeated attacks on Obama's legitimacy, the birther, controversy to policy clashes and public debates, the two men have never been on friendly terms. Each encounter has been more than political theater. It has been a battle of narratives, values, and influence over millions of Americans. This confrontation didn't happen in isolation. It took place on a platform designed for scrutiny, with cameras rolling, pundits watching, and the nation ready to weigh every word. Huckabee's favorite tactics, humor, provocation, and moral lecturing are familiar to Trump. But here he chose a direct insult aimed at Obama's very presence. "Sit down, boy." The stakes were monumental. This wasn't just a clash of personalities, it was a clash of eras. Trump represented a brash, unfiltered approach to politics, one that often values spectacle over substance. Obama represented reasoned authority, intellect, and moral grounding. The world watched, waiting to see if the seasoned ex-president would rise to provocation or if he would stumble under the pressure of Trump's bold challenge. And for the audience, the tension was palpable. Everyone present knew that in politics, words carry power. A single sentence could dominate headlines, become a meme, and redefine public perception. This wasn't a typical exchange. It was a showdown where strategy, intellect, and timing would determine who walked away victorious in the court of public opinion. Little did anyone know, the reply that Obama was about to give wouldn't just silence Trump, it would leave the nation utterly stunned, redefine expectations, and cement this confrontation as one of the most memorable political moments of the decade. The tension in the room was palpable. Cameras flashed, reporters leaned forward, and the audience seemed to hold its breath. Donald Trump, brimming with confidence, leaned toward Barack Obama and began his familiar pattern. Provocation disguised as critique. Greater than you did some things. Maybe, but honestly, a lot of your decisions were failures, and people don't respect your leadership anymore. The words landed, but the real blow came moments later. Leaning in with a smirk, Trump uttered the phrase that would ignite this unforgettable clash. Asterisk, greater than sit down, boy. Asterisk, a hush swept over the room. The comment, dripping with arrogance and provocation, wasn't just meant to insult, it was meant to intimidate. Cameras captured the shocked expressions of the audience. Reporters paused mid-sentence, and a ripple of disbelief spread across social media in real time. Asterisk, Trump expected a reaction. Most opponents might have flinched, stumbled, or fired back impulsively, but Obama remained calm, his eyes steady, hands folded. He didn't react immediately. The silence grew heavy, each passing second amplifying the tension. Asterisk, Trump tried again, reiterating his criticisms, hoping to provoke anger or defensiveness. Yet Obama's restraint wasn't hesitation, it was strategy. Every pause, every measured glance made it clear that when he did speak, it would carry weight far beyond a simple rebuttal. Asterisk, observers later described the scene as a high-stakes, psychological duel. Trump wielded aggression, Obama wielded intellect. The stage was no longer just a platform for critique, it had become a battlefield of authority, strategy, and moral positioning. Asterisk, and then, the moment everyone was waiting for drew near. Millions of viewers at home sensed it. Trump had triggered a response, but the nature of that response was entirely in Obama's hands. Would he rise to the bait with anger, or would he deliver a reply so precise and powerful it would leave the provocateur speechless? Asterisk, the answer was about to redefine this confrontational man, cemented as one of the most iconic exchanges in modern political history. Asterisk, Trump leaned forward, a confident smirk on his face, convinced the moment was his. Sit down, boy, he repeated, the words echoing through the room like a challenge. The audience stiffened. Reporters' pens hovered over their notebooks. Social media feeds were already alive with clips and comments. Asterisk, then Barack Obama moved. Slowly, deliberately, he rose, and for a heartbeat, the room seemed suspended in time. Silence fell, so complete that even Trump's usual bravado faltered. Asterisk, Obama's voice was calm, measured, and sharp. Asterisk, greater than you know, Donald, I've always believed that leadership isn't about who shouts the loudest or who can dominate a room. It's about listening, reflecting, and lifting others up, not putting them down. Asterisk, a pause. The words cut through the tension, slicing the smug confidence Trump had relied on. The ex-president, expecting a defensive outburst or concession, blinked. The tables had shifted. Then came the line that left the nation stunned. Greater than when we speak of respect, of morality, and of dignity, it cannot come from arrogance or insults. True strength is shown by how you treat those you disagree with, not by how loudly you tell them to sit. Asterisk, the room erupted not with applause, but with audible gasps, whispers, and stunned silence. Cameras captured Trump's rare moment of hesitation, his smirk faltering. Obama didn't need to shout, he didn't need theatrics. His measured, precise words dismantled the attack, exposing arrogance with calm authority. Asterisk, in those seconds, the confrontation transformed. What was meant to humiliate became a lesson in leadership, wisdom, and moral high ground. Social media exploded. Journalists called it a masterclass in poise under pressure. For millions watching, it wasn't just an exchange, it was a statement about power, restraint, and respect. Asterisk, Obama returned to his seat, composed as ever. Trump, caught off guard, could only process the weight of the response. The nation had witnessed a rare moment where intellect, dignity, and timing triumphed over aggression and spectacle. Asterisk, this was the turning point, the moment that ensured everyone would remember the words, the delivery, and the lesson. Asterisk, when the echoes of that confrontation faded, one thing was clear. This was more than just an exchange between two former presidents. It was a lesson in leadership, poise, and the power of words. Donald Trump's provocation intended to dominate and humiliate was met not with aggression, but with calm, calculated authority. Barack Obama reminded the nation that true strength isn't measured by volume or intimidation, but by restraint, intellect, and moral clarity. Asterisk, this moment revealed a deeper truth about political discourse. Too often, power is equated with aggression, and loud insults are mistaken for influence. Yet the way Obama handled the situation demonstrated that patience, strategy, and thoughtful response can have far greater impact than the flashiest attack. Millions of Americans watched a masterclass in composure under pressure. and the exchange instantly became symbolic of the contrast between spectacle and substance. Asterisk for the public. It was a reminder that words are weapons and, wielding them wisely, can redefine the narrative. Obama didn't just reply, he reshaped the conversation, elevated the debate, and left a mark on history. In a country often consumed by partisanship, his response offered a rare display of dignity and intellect, triumphing over arrogance. If you've ever felt underestimated, dismissed, or provoked, this moment is a reminder. The way you respond matters. Thoughtful, measured words can silence even the loudest critics, inspire millions, and turn confrontation into a statement of principle. Asterisk. The clash between Trump and Obama wasn't just political theater. It was a timeless example of how composure and wisdom can outshine aggression, leaving a lesson that resonates far beyond the moment itself. Asterisk. What do you think? Did Barack Obama's calm, powerful response completely dismantle Donald Trump's attempt to dominate the room? Or do you think Trump still had the upper hand in this confrontation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Read every single one. Asterisk. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most memorable political showdowns in recent history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next analysis. Share this video with friends who need to see how composure and strategy can triumph over arrogance. Asterisk.